Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Let Your Google Hang Out, episode 132. With me today is the one and only Chucky.
Hello, how are you? I'm angry and bitter, but I will hold it all in because one of my two of my favorite blondes are on here, but one of my most favorite blondes, and I finally got a chance to meet her, and I don't think we've been live since we met. Ladies and gentlemen, Moonshine Bonanza.
Bye.
I took Moonshine out for a drink because I love her, and half a glass of wine.
Live since then, because I'm pretty sure we've spoken about the ridiculous $30 glass of wine.
Okay, you're right. That's my favorite story. I kept the receipt.
He just wants to tell it again. We all heard it already, Chucky. Okay.
Shut up, Blondie. $30. That's nothing but love.
He's got it right there too. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's how much I love this woman.
Moonshine, why don't you introduce our next co-host?
Our other favorite blonde.
We have the bubbly, blonde, and boobalicious Tay Allen.
Wait, that was perfect. That is exactly how I would want to be described. Always. You nailed it.
That's what's going on your tombstone. Here lies a boobalicious babe.
Amazing. All right, well, I can do no better than that. Then I will introduce our last co-host of the evening, the always weird now Scott Martin in his new set recording.
Hi, thank you. Yes, I'm in Portland, Oregon, for those of you that don't know that I moved here. This is my first show from my new place.
Scotty, is this all you? Is that your apartment, dude? Is that all you? You have a roommate?
This is all me, man. That's
a nice place. Dude.
Look,
take us on the tour. Take us on the tour.
Hold on, I'll do that.
Look at that. He's got bitches over there. He's got bitches over there.
So this over here, this is my bed.
Ooh, that's where the love happened. That's where the love happened.
Oh, wow, babe. This is an upgrade since the last time I saw it.
I know.
Dude, this is so much better than the frat house you were in before. This is nice.
I know. Okay, so this is the hallway here. I just bought this thing here. It's a 5x5 thing from IKEA, like.
I was just gonna say you're just jerking off to the IKEA stuff.
And then here, this is my my bathroom. Right here is where I take a dump.
Oh my God, that is the most female male bathroom ever.
Right here's where I do. This is where I do my laundry.
There you go, laundry. That's it, dude. I won't even consider living in a place unless they've got washer dryer on premise, right inside my house.
Well, it's good that you
here's my fridge.
That left for me, Chucky.
Look at that! He's got a clean fridge.
Oh, dude, I'm a clean guy. This is why it's amazing.
You're one finger snap away from being gay.
There's my TV. I'm
one?
still gonna buy an entertainment system, but only one fridge?
At IKEA. How much is that setting you back, dude?
$12.50 a month.
That's not bad, dude. That's
a lot.
No, it's not, honey.
For Portland?
I don't know. I only have a couple of places to measure that to, and in Los Angeles, that would have been a really expensive apartment. I don't know what Portland's like at all.
It would have been like $3,000.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
An apartment like that would cost you quite a pretty penny.
Oregon is actually the state with the most people moving here. Florida's number 3. They're always top 3. Everyone's flocking here, and Portland specifically is full of millennials, full of young people that are getting. It's funny. There's
India.
It's like it's the cheap man's Bay Area, you know.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It's got.
You want to live in San Francisco, but you just can't afford it.
Isn't it fun, Scott, being surrounded by all those entrepreneurs?
Oh, I didn't even show you the best view. I didn't even show you the best view. Yes, it is awesome. Hold on. This shit. I went the wrong way. Let me go the other way.
Oh my God, Scott, this is so unattractive.
Look,
dude, not bad.
And then this is downtown. Like right over here, you can't quite see it, but right next to this is the Moda Center. I'm right next to the Blazers arena. So.
Oh, dude, that's gotta suck.
No, I love it. I've been to 2 games already.
You can walk to the games?
It's right next door. Right next door. I get scalp tickets for like between $20 and $80, and I'll get in the hundreds or 300s and sneak down. The convention center next door that you just saw on video is where Comic-Con was this weekend. It's
Oh,
just
nice.
Cool.
I sat down and ate at Burgerville, and next to me was Joker and Batman and Harley Quinn. It's just I absolutely love it here. I don't regret it for a moment. And
Good.
I get an email, dude, from a friend of mine who's back east, and she's back east during the cold, and she sends me an email, and she goes, "How did you live in this?" And I was like, "Why do you think I left? I was not a big fan of the cold, and I like it here in Vegas. I might be working with a project next month and everything. It took me a little bit longer, but rent, from what I can tell, is not that bad. It's comparable. It might even be a little bit less for a place bigger than yours, probably less expensive than yours. But it's, first of all, it's just like getting a job first, then getting a car, then thinking about apartments and stuff like that. But it's not as bad. I am concerned about Lake Mead going down, but it's a little lower than we'd like. But I kind of dig it here. Weird thing about Vegas, dude, I know you're in the Northeast and everything. There's 3 months out of the year here in Vegas that are real hot, obviously. Couple of months that are real cold.
Who's in the Northeast?
I mean Northwest. I'm sorry, but where I am at, there's about 6 months of just fall-like weather. It's bitchin' hot in the summer, little cold, November, December, January. But aside from that, pretty laid back, dude. It's not real bad. How is the weather in Oregon?
That's exactly how I would describe it. Right now, it feels like it's fall all year round because
Really?
Until the summer. Okay, doing my research, the weather here is.
Look at doing your research. The weather here, like you're living there, darling.
I know, but I haven't been here in
prior
a year, darling. So it's kind of I don't know. It's a lateral move from Buffalo when it comes to the amount of days of overcast. The most days of precipitation in America, number 1, Buffalo, number 2, Rochester, New York, number 3, Portland, Oregon. So for every day that it rains here, it snows in Buffalo. So that's why I equate it to. And I would much rather take the rain than the snow any day. And the weather, it was probably 60 today with no clouds. And I walked around Hawthorne Bridge, about 6 bridges. I'm literally about 200 yards from the bridge that crosses over to downtown, where Voodoo Donuts is, and a bunch of other areas. I mean, I couldn't be in a better spot. Right in front of me is the Max line for the train. The bus passes by my place every day. I bought a bike, an early 80s Schwinn vintage bike that is awesome, and I've probably put 45 to 50 miles on it already and lost 12 pounds in the last 3 weeks, just cutting back on carbonated.
Wow!
Yeah.
All joking aside, Scott, it looks really nice. Like, I'm really proud of you and happy for you. It looks awesome. I want to come and visit.
If I invited you over, I would get dessert. I mean, you could get dessert. Oh, wait, what? I'm just kidding.
No,
you can.
No,
maybe you would get a shot of sweet tea vodka.
No, you would get nothing, and I'll tell you why.
You can entertain me.
Sounds tasty.
What were you saying, Chuck? Oh my God!
You would get none of that. Yeah, I haven't priced apartments or anything like that. But there's a lot of nice places in this area. But dude, if the feeling of having your own place, it's yours. You don't have to worry about what you eat in the refrigerator. All that's mine. Yeah, that's. See,
here's the thing.
Where he lived before, he had a couple of roommates, so it's tough when you got roommates sometimes.
And I don't have to clean anybody else's piss off my toilet seat. I don't have to worry about drunks at 4 in the morning. I don't have to worry about skanks being over at my place. I don't have to worry about anything.
Well, I am coming to visit.
Wow.
Well, then one skank. But
Okay.
Chucky, I want to show you something that might make you happy.
Your apartment is like a long hallway.
Look at this. It is.
Are those the ones? Did I give you those?
You gave me these. The problem is,
those are the big cock oven mitts. That's awesome. That's awesome. Way to go.
But Chucky, look closely. They're both right-handed. You fuck.
They only come with the one hand. They only.
What the hell? That's stupid. Maybe they were out.
I didn't make them. I didn't make them.
Anyway,
I got them for free.
Here's my thing. I'm gonna I framed your photo, as you know, the poster, and that's gonna go up to the wall. The one of the model from back in the day.
Farrah Fawcett.
Farrah Fawcett?
Farrah Fawcett, yes. I
gave that
framed
to you.
that. You did. You were going to toss it out. You're like, I think you. And
I think
so
you should have this.
I framed it, and I want to put it on the wall because How I Met You was It Doesn't Get Better video, and that was on the backdrop, hanging on the back of your door in your kitchen, and it's just got sentimental value to me, and I appreciate everything you've done, and I'm glad we're friends.
Sadly, that's not on that. I don't think that's on there.
I think it is. It's in your intro, at least.
No, it's not. But I appreciate that I have somehow made an impression in your life.
Oh, that was my first part of my first impression, as far as remembering that, because maybe I clicked on your other videos and it was there, but it was absolutely.
It was there, but it wasn't. I didn't start using that one for a while. It didn't start getting used, I think, until Penn State video, so it was a couple of weeks in. But yeah, thanks. That's sweet of you. I'm glad that I'm glad that she's in good hands. That's awesome. Didn't I give you? Who took the picture? I thought there was a picture of for Amnesty International.
I have that as well. And
you did that one? That was a good picture.
And here's the thing: those are still boxed up. As you saw, a tall order of boxes sitting here. A tall order. Those I'm still getting situated. I've only been in here 3 weeks, and I haven't been here the whole time.
Or do you have brand new appliances back there? What?
It's all brand new. This place,
nice.
This place is only 2 years old.
At this point, I may need to step in. If Chucky's talking about the new appliances.
No, it's just like this is the type of apartment that I would.
You guys are now about his new bachelor pad. You both want to go out on the town in Portland and score some chicks and bring them back to his studio. I get it. Then
no,
you can
but that's the thing about it. But look at how. Yeah, but look at how Scotty has set up that place. They come in, they don't stick to anything. Everything's nice and clean.
I got a new blender. I got fruits and vegetables. I got a
You can make them a smoothie. What's Moonshine got? Moonshine, what do you have?
Oh, and a new box spring and mattress.
I
mean, that's the most important part.
What'd you say?
I said bitches love smoothies.
See?
This is true. And I'm right next to the Lloyd Center Mall, and they have 2 movie theaters right there. And they serve alcohol. Anywhere in Portland that serves alcohol has to serve food. So I'll never go home. Yeah, and there's food carts everywhere here. So
every bar?
It's a law. You have to serve food if you serve alcohol.
Okay, why? Is it purely for sobriety reasons? Because that seems a little excessive.
It's Portland. They keep it weird here. I would say that that's part of it, but also to keep people from traveling while they're drunk. Happy hour here is from like 3 to 7. People are drunk by 7.
That's not science.
No, it's not science. It's science. That's just my my take on it. I also think some of them get away with it by just cooking hot dogs or providing nachos. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything elaborate, but a lot of places here have street meat or food establishments, and it's amazing.
Did you say street meat?
That is the Canadian version of saying food carts. They call it street meat. Yeah.
Oh, God. How is there not a band out right now called Street Meat?
That's a good point.
Probably.
How about the Let Your Google Hang Up Boys make Street Meat the band, and I will do the bridge. It'll be like Street Meat featuring Tay Allen.
And then you'll rap or something.
Well, here's the thing. What we're going to do is Chucky, Matt, Rob, myself, Matt, Rob, myself are going to go visit Chucky in L.A. We can schedule it where everybody goes if you want.
Well, they're going to go to L.A. and then they're going to go back a couple hundred miles. But yeah, okay.
True, but I think that they need to go to Las Vegas where Chucky is, and our album cover will be us holding sausages in our mouth.
Ew.
Oh my God! Wait, I love this. Yes, please. And me just in the background, like
sausages.
With them all around. Yes.
Moonshine's got one between her boobs, like eating it like this.
Nothing but sausages.
Looking so pissed off, like trying to get them away. Like, why the fuck are you here?
No, she's trying to reach the dog, but it's like, so she looks kind of slow while she's doing it. I don't know. It's provocative, but also insulting.
You can tell Moonshine that Scott has thought a lot about
It's got to be me with two of the sausages, like looking like I just smacked myself in the face with them.
Okay. Boom. Well, now we know what Moonshine's into. Okay, so what has everyone been up to? It's been a couple of weeks, and before that it was several months. our viewers have been kind of aggravated and fading out or in and out. But okay, we'll start with you, Tay. What is new since the last time we talked?
Well, I'm going to LA for a week, February 16th through the 21st, somewhere in there. And I'm actually shooting a collaboration video with Sheila Shalaki. And she is a famous YouTuber, kind of like me, where she's had viral content, but she started off as a comedian. But yeah, so she does these Real Housewives of the Magic Kingdom, like the Disney
Wait,
SNL skit.
You're a comedian? You're a comedian?
Well, or
I'm just
at
kidding.
least a commentator on society.
I'm just kidding.
I won't be a comedian. No. So anyway, we are shooting one of her Real Housewives of Magic Kingdom, and I am going to play Cinderella. So this is like a dream come true. You can see I have my little bookshelf behind me tonight. I've got these ever after.
Wow.
I'm gonna get to be a princess for the first time.
You are such a Disney girl, aren't you?
Oh my god, I love it so much, but it's ruined me. I've been single for 8 years.
What?
Yes,
okay.
I think it's because of that. It has to be.
Okay. Now, we're going to come back to you on this because we have to discuss something as two single people. It's been 3 years this week since since my last relationship ended. We need to discuss dating, online dating, that whole thing.
Oh god.
But quickly, we won't discuss it too long because I believe last episode we talked about dating and it was like the entire fucking episode.
It was a mess.
So.
And Santoro never called her back anyway, so what's the point?
Okay, he texted me. Let's quickly call out Santoro while he's not here. So all your viewers remember last time Maddie was coming on pretty hard because I don't know, he was
he was a little aggressive. He was a little aggressive, a little handsy.
Is she frozen? She looks cross-eyed.
Oh, no, she looks angry.
She looks cross-eyed.
By the way, just in case, would somebody check the audio on our playback because I don't think it's working, and I think we lost Tay. All right. Here's the thing about it.
Really?
I think so. I don't like online dating. I think that it's a scam. I think that a lot of those dating sites, in and of themselves, I don't trust them.
Okay. Okay. I've got so much to say about that, but let me test the audio first here. Sorry.
Just real quick, because it wasn't working for me, but that doesn't mean nothing.
It says, please stand by, and then, yeah, no, it works. It works.
It's not working for me. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't doubt that for a second. I don't doubt it for a second. Stupid.
Okay, now let's go back to what you were saying before we go over to Moonshine, if you don't mind. I would say that there are a lot of things artificial about online dating, and you can tell people only what you want to tell them. It's sort of like being the new kid in school. You can share what you want and look as cool as you want, but deep down we know who the nerds and the jocks and the assholes, the bullies are. After you get to know them a little bit, that's the trickery. Is they sell what they want to sell. You buy what you want to buy, and you can take it or leave it. Or you can have if you have good chemistry, then you go on a second date. I have gone on dates since I've been here. And I will say, you learn from it. Even if you never talk to that person again, it's never a bad experience. It's just different. And what I like about online dating is that I don't have the balls in person to go up to a girl that I really like. I can talk to anybody, but if I like you, I'm scared.
I can't do a thing. If there's anything like that.
Oh my God, Chucky, your microphone. You need to unplug your microphone and plug it back in, or do some shit because that was it's weird.
Is it loud?
Can anybody else hear that, Moonshine?
It sounds like you're farting.
It sounds like you're in a smoking commercial. You're like, I smoke 7 packs a day for 40 years, and now I have to talk with a tube. Anyway, so that was my point, was that it breaks that
Is this any better?
Way better, thank you. Okay, Chucky, my point was that you can throw out a message to a girl that you normally might get rejected or not take a chance because you're like, oh, she's out of my league. But you actually get to know somebody before you ever even talk to them, even if it's just on the outside. And then they can determine yay or nay based on attraction or your small little bio, whether it's misled or not.
I thought you were going to say small little penis.
And your small little penis. That should be my headline. I'm Irish, and I don't know.
Does it sound any better, Scotty?
It sounds perfect, dude. It's great.
All right, cool. I don't know what happened with that other thing. I was having some stuff. I still cannot. If I play back the feed, the live feed has no audio, so I don't know what's going on anymore.
It's on your end. I tested
Probably.
it. At least it's good on my end. But Tay, welcome back.
Oh my God! Something comes up my computer. Maybe I was being too sassy for the internet. It literally just goes all white and just says something happened and we have to restart your PC, but it didn't do it. Have you ever had that before?
Yours kind of we've had a lot of issues in the past with Google Plus. It's so great, but at the same time, it's a bitch sometimes. And relying on it completely, you're talking about digital technology, and it's never perfect. But we're here, and it's 20 minutes into the show. We went live on time. We've got two pretty women here. Actually, three pretty women here.
Thank you.
So let's give a quick little shout out. Then we're gonna go to Moonshine. She's been quiet, and I want to get to her. But since it's been, she retired from the comments a long time ago. So no, Rob Dyke, this is absurd. He may show up. It's just he won't
show up, and I'll tell you why.
He's always fashionably late. He's kind of like Swoozy, you know. He wants to give you a little bit of his
the
time.
last thing he is fashionable. He's just not showing up because we're just not. He don't love us no more. He doesn't even love Tay. If Tay Allen can't get his hairy ass in here, there's nothing.
So.
He'll get really intense on Snapchat occasionally. Like, he's just like Santoro. What is it with you YouTube guys? Maybe this is a topic of conversation.
Flaky?
What kind of male personality that becomes a YouTuber? Because him and Santoro, and Chuck, all of you get very intense about things, and then it kind of disappears. And then you get, like, fervent about it again, and then it disappears. Are you like that in everything in your life?
I'd like to. If I can answer first, I'd like to say that I think that has a lot to do with people that are very visionary, very creative, and they I don't know. I think I have so many things on my mind personally, speaking for myself, that like when there's so much to do, so many different social medias you got to maintain, and people you got to reply to an email, and when it becomes a business. I'm a scatterbrain. As much as I love structure and like following a regimen, sometimes you need to break from that. And when you do, it's like I work best with ADHD. It's like I'll be working 5 hours without blinking. Well, obviously blinking, but like without eating or going to the bathroom. And then I'm like, shit, I need a break. And other times, every 10 minutes, I'm changing a song. I'm getting up and I'm walking around. I'm making phone calls. I'm checking social media. And I think that's 2015 for you. It's not necessarily guys. I think maybe there's a correlation with just guys, but I think it's just where life's going, where society's heading.
I agree, actually. I say I'm best in frantic mode. So I think you hit something on the nail there.
Yeah. Well, how about you, Chucky? What do you think?
I don't even remember what the question is.
The question is about the behavior of male personalities on YouTube, and you just answered it.
I don't even think it's a question of male personalities. I think it's any personality. I think that we are so bombarded with sound bites and images that it takes a lot to keep your attention focused on certain things, and that's just the way it goes. And everybody's out there looking for the bigger and better deal. Everybody is trying to upsell. That's it.
Well, yeah, I think our attention is shorter than ever because of the internet. We go with top 10 lists, and we go with like BuzzFeed type things, and we go with like 2 to 3 minute sizzle videos rather than like an elaborate podcast, say maybe an hour or two every week.
Yeah.
And those things happen, and Audible.com, because things like that exist because we don't have time to read anymore. And online dating because we don't have time to meet people anymore, or it's more convenient to multitask and then do that. You know
what I find out, Scotty? A lot of times when they say things are more convenient, they're not. They say, "Oh, this will make your life easier." No, it won't.
Well, see, you've always been that guy that kind of sees things outside of the box. Hence
I see the Matrix, and it's scaring me.
Well, you're a realist.
Keanu?
You're a realist.
Do you see Keanu? That's all I care about. Oh my God. Keanu Reeves
You know
in
what?
the Matrix is
I
my
don't
celebrity crush.
I don't particularly like a lot of his work, but I've heard some awfully nice things about him as a person. I've heard he does some
Oh,
awfully nice things as far as helping his fellow man out. So
Yeah, he lives in like a normal dude apartment.
yeah, like
Keanu
Scotty's.
It's because he gives so much to charity that he just like lives in a normal guy apartment.
I
It's so
think I think he's at the point in his life, Moonshine, where his needs are so well met. I think he's one of those people who's like, I just got to do something with this. And there was a couple of cats I know who, like their pet charity. I think Johnny Depp's pet charity was Make a Wish, and somebody had said that he gives so much money to that charity for the Make a Wish Foundation. Or so, if I had money, Scotty, you know what my charity might be? That St. Jude's Hospital.
Yeah, I honestly think that, you know, your heart's in the right place. I admire anybody who takes the time for underprivileged people or those less fortunate, animals, you know, just people struggling with things that they could help out with, and rather than just a blind eye, you know, like
But
right
they're
up
real
front of my place.
quiet about it too, dude.
I know they're not looking for it, and that's the most admirable part about it. But you know, okay, a couple weeks ago, I got free pizza from a place after a Trailblazers game. They were closing up, and I had already bought a slice, and I was like, wait a minute, that was a good slice. I want to get two more. And when I went to go get two more, he goes, you want a third one? I'm like, sure. And he threw in a third one, and he didn't even charge me for any of it. I'm like, this is awesome. He threw it in a box, and I walked down the street. Now, remember, before the game...
That's a charity case, but...
Now, before the game, I crossed underneath the bridge near my place. Now, I live near a really nice place, but there are some homeless people that sleep under there because it rains a lot, and they just have sleeping bags. They don't bother anybody. They get up and they leave. They don't. I don't think I've ever seen them beg. And this one lady was really like happy and smiling and waving at these kids, and the kids waved back, and it kind of touched me that there was no hidden agenda. She just was happy and spreading happiness. And so that night, like 5-6 blocks away, after I got a couple beers and that pizza and I was walking home, I saw her. She passed by me again, didn't ask me anything. And I go, you hungry? She goes, what? I go, are you hungry? She goes, very. And I opened up the thing and her eyes lit up and she took pizza and I closed it. I had a slice left for me and I walked home. And I had no idea anybody was watching, but two guys behind me were like, that was really sweet. Not girls that said this, guys that were like, they were like probably mid-30s, were like, that was really sweet of you. I'm like, I was just paying it forward. I got it for free.
It was really sweet, bro.
What I'm saying, I'm getting somewhere. It made me feel better whether I told anybody or not. And the reason why I did tell people was not for the attention, was because I wanted other people to feel the way I felt by doing something similar, almost like setting a precedent, or trying to be somewhat of a role model to anybody that's my age or younger, I guess. And so when you get Reeves and all those other people that do it, maybe they don't do it for that reason, but I think when their story gets out, it does inspire you to want to be a better person. And you see people.
That's why it's cool that you talked about that, Scott, because one thing I have been, so you asked me for like what I had been doing the last couple months. I am actually partnering with a charity that's like against cyberbullying because I've received all this online hate, and I've been like talking to my fans more than ever and just like really trying to like go through all like the mishmash of the internet and YouTube comments and everything and like get back to like why I started making the songs I did and like my true fans and stuff. And what I've seen is like some of them, like where they live or the lives that they have been dealt are awful. And it's really hard for us, like, you know, we're talking like this and we joke around, but like I hear some of these stories, or like I'm friends with some of them on Facebook and I'll see these statuses and it is like bad homes and no one is supporting their creativity, like, and it's really shown me like how important like you just telling that story is, or like the power that we can give. Like a role model is such a weighted word because who deserves to be a role model, who doesn't?
Who'd want to be a role model?
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Not role model.
Okay.
Like you said, an inspiration. Like, can you inspire them to and help show them that there is life that's better than what they're in? And like the people who like have that visionary sense that you're talking about, they'll see someone like you and they'll be like, oh, I have something in common with him, I can do that too. I think it's
you know
really
what
important.
my big problem is every time I look and see somebody else's problems, it makes me feel so bad for even complaining about my own. Because I was like, I wouldn't trade places with these people.
Yeah,
You know,
it can be a reality check. And Chucky, you and I have had some rough paths in our lives.
Oh
but
my God!
It brought us to where we are now. Everything, no matter how good or horrible it's been in the past, losing my father, having no money, just all different things that I've had to do with my life. I am who I am because of those things. And you've had to go through a lot of different shit, living in LA, leaving, going back to Buffalo, tumbling.
I wonder if the decisions you made, I wonder if we were going to end up here anyway. And the decisions that we made, well, they say, well, you're the product of those decisions. Yeah, because if you made that decision, obviously you had to learn something, and if you made this decision, obviously you would. But you still would have. Would you still have arrived at the same place? Would we still be having this conversation, even if we had made different decisions in the past?
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, I think habits kind of establish who we are, and then if you do it long enough, it becomes behavior, and that behavior becomes your personality. And
well,
I
speaking
think
of behavior and personality,
I've let myself down
It's like
a lot, or held
right?
myself
Like
back.
a predetermined path.
I don't know if it's a predetermined path or a predetermined destination.
I like that, because I don't think
I mean?
there's a predetermined path, but I think there are predetermined stops.
Yeah,
like
and you're
there are
gonna
some
get
points
there.
in my life where I feel like it is so right in sync that, like you're saying, no matter what had happened before,
You were
maybe it took
supposed
a
to
little
be.
longer to get there or what have you, but I was supposed to hit that, and then I may waver off, but then something will slam me back. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like my life is very dramatic, where it'll be like really awful and really down, and then like everything will sync up, and then if I swerve off, like it like throws me back. Like my life never like slowly brings me to any new decisions. I don't know if you guys have faced that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I feel like that's pretty true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're made up of energy, and it's like wavelengths. It's like a roller coaster. You get up high on life sometimes, and then sometimes you're knocked back down to reality, or you go through a tough time, and then you persevere, and then that builds character, and then it's sort of like a movie plot. You go through the first, second, third act, and there's a resolution, and then usually a happy ending. And if you have goals and you envision them and you keep them in focus, maybe you have one of those visionary, or one of those walls, and you just keep focusing on that, or you have consistent dreams or writings. But I believe in the law of attraction. You gravitate towards the things that you want when you work for them and when you see them. So anyway, that's what I think. What do you think, Moonshine?
I just said, like, I believe what Tay said, like, maybe not, a predestined path, but definite stops. I know I've felt that feeling where I'm like, I probably would have ended up here anyway, but hopefully I did it one of the quicker routes.
Yeah,
I like that.
So, how has Moonshine been?
Good. I'm just now, for the first time since like way before Christmas, since way before Thanksgiving, even being able to focus on my channel again.
Yeah, you were in LA for a while, so you probably had to focus on other things, and now you're like, oh, let me get back into this cosplay.
Weren't you doing more behind the stuff work for other people? You were doing more production and pre-production and writing.
I was editing. I was an editor for a month.
Yeah. How did you like that?
Well, it had its ups and downs. The channels I was editing for, it's hard to describe how I felt about it. You know what? Talk amongst yourselves. Actually, I have to pee, and I can't gather my thoughts while I'm thinking about how much I have to pee right now.
Very true. Very true.
Can you imagine? Okay, so 3 YouTubers interviewed the president. Can you imagine if they asked him a question that like slipped through the White House, and he's like, I gotta pee, and he just gets up and walks away?
You gotta remember something. They clear those questions beforehand. Yeah, sure, but anybody could have just turned to him, like I said, and just said, seriously, dude, where were you born? And then just watched everything go to hell. But then he would
You
just.
know there's a delay on that, though. You know, they would
So
never.
that they could just hustle them out. But we were talking about this earlier, where I've never felt so pandered to in my entire life as I did with listening. I'm like, wow, I'm not a big fan of this presidency, this administration, but that's still the president of the United States of America. Even though he doesn't seem to respect the office sometimes, that's still the president of the United States of America. And
I'm with you, Chucky.
The caliber of YouTube talent, I was like, there are actual political vloggers, people who take that shit very seriously, who would have been wonderful to interview the president.
I can see why they would pick Hank Green because of his strong following and because of his intellect, but
he's not that fucking smart. Neither one of the boys are. Neither one of them are.
John Green is a fucking genius. Are you kidding?
He's a talented writer. But
yes.
Those boys are so, their narrative, you can't present, they're the worst thing that's wrong with nerd culture because they think they're fucking No, hear me out. Hear me out.
No, I won't. Until I say The Big Bang Theory, the show, is the worst thing that's ever happened to nerd culture.
I don't get it.
I'm getting to that because at first I was like, it was a great show, and yes, they're very smart. But then I was like, this is every stupid cliche ever, and I'll give you that.
Audiences think nerds are.
Exactly.
It's not a show for nerds. It's a show for the masses about nerds.
It's just, it may as well be Two Broke Girls, or it may as well be Friends. It may as well be
Two Broke Girls may as well be two fucking strippers.
Exactly.
I thought it was.
Yeah, see?
Moonshine, wait, can we please remake all the Two Broke Girls episodes, but just with us in outfits with the same dialogue? Because then it will just be Two Broke Strippers.
But I think that the thing but the thing about it is,
instead of in their little fucking diner, it can take place in the locker room.
The thing that I don't understand, though, when it comes down to those, we were talking about this before. I said there is an awful lot of cultural power that is attributed to YouTubers that I think is totally not warranted. I don't care how many fucking subscribers you get, how many people are watching them, how many are commenting, what's the engagement. There's a lot more to it than a subscriber count.
Yes, engagement is everything. It's about your 1%. It's, are you engaging with the people who really get you? Just having lurkers randomly watch you all the time is cool for your vanity, but it doesn't make any kind of impact. That's why, like, I don't think being viral means anything, because so everyone saw you once. That doesn't mean that you changed their life or that you're a part of it.
Okay, now, I'm not going to, I don't want to go to the point of disrespecting people like Tyler Oakley or Ricky Pickle, but like, or Ricky Dillon, whatever his name is. People like that have such, that was one of his channels when he was when he was doing like, parodies and shit. Anyway, so
outrage retracted.
The people like that who just have like a blind following. They're like their blind loyalty. They retweet when he says, "I'm going to take a shit," and there's 17,000 retweets. And then you've got somebody with this profound thought that gets nothing. It's like they're talking to the wall.
Oh God, why do you think I gave up? I told him, I was like,
you're a smart dude.
And something that Moonshine said, I agree with wholeheartedly. I remember when I was first introduced to the Big Bang Theory, it was the same group of people who go to see the Spasmatics play and think that that's who wrote every 80s song. And in order to appreciate every 80s song, you have to have tape on your glasses and a pencil protector and all that other stuff. That they think that's what a nerd is. It's and what I think YouTube, and we were talking about this before, a lot of the videos have become incredibly pedestrian. You see a video and it's like, yeah, this video could have been done by a million other YouTubers. It's the same video.
So pedestrian.
So pedestrian. I kind of like that term. I don't know why.
I kind of like it. Okay, so what do you do then with the like huge just overabundance then of channels, and so many people now have 200,000 subscribers? That is like, well, then what do you do if everyone's just making the same thing?
It's weird to me because
it's become saturated.
It's become very saturated. But it's kind of like when you look at the people who are making a real living at it, I don't know how many views a month that takes. But I can tell you this. Those people spend a lot of time on social media because that is their job. It's part of what they do. Scotty.
It's become who they are, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Really can define them. I mean, it's not only a job, it's a lifestyle.
But here's the thing about
Matthew Santoro's new fake girlfriend.
If you're not making...
Whoa.
If you're not making... But if you're not making Santoro cash, if you're not making that kind of money, Tay, then all that time is wasted time. Because there's people who spend just as much time as top YouTubers do on social media with nothing to show for it. At least those guys making money. That's how they do their job.
I mean, creative time is not wasted time.
No, you know what? We could get into a real esoteric talk about what's creative time and what's just time scrolling through a timeline.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, as far as media stuff, sure.
I'm talking about people who spend as much time on social media as people who do it for... Okay, that's what I mean.
Refreshing, constantly just snapping anything you have,
people,
no matter how boring.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm guilty of that.
I feel like writing
most of what you do is clever.
Like, why am I telling people this?
Yeah, I don't ever have those moments until afterwards. Thank you, Tay.
I found out, I figured that out, Tay, on the last 4 videos I did because I came up with a concept that I loved. Those were the most favorite videos, except for me singing, that I did. And I watched the views go lower and lower and lower, and then I went, you know what? This is not the place for me. Done. It did everything it was supposed to do. It gave me an opportunity to get some things off my chest. Gave me a opportunity for me to go through a year and a half of fucking free therapy. But you want to know something? If that's what I got to do, I said I was very happy with the improv work that I was doing. And I said, if nobody else is, time for me to leave. Because I
agree that your calling is elsewhere, but you have a place on YouTube. You have a voice. You're smart. You help others. You've made a difference.
Well, the thing is, I appreciate that, but there comes a point, and this is something that Lynn, my friend Lynn taught me. She goes, when something stops serving you, time to move on. It no longer serves you.
Ooh, I like that. That is just so good for everything in your life.
And
Yeah.
I get so much.
She goes, it served you. It served a purpose. It served you. It doesn't anymore. You don't even have to feel bad about saying no. When people say it is what it is, they say that's kind of like a throwaway term. I said, no, it is what it is. This is what it is. If you do not see it for what it is and accept it, you're going to be butting heads. You know, it's like, no.
What you just said, Chucky, is the reason why I stopped video blogging. In 2011, I was so self-absorbed, and it was about just me entertaining people for views and subscribers, and just, it was something that I said at the beginning of the year I was going to do, and I stuck with it. Because I said I was going to, not because I wanted to anymore, but because I gave my word, or I had a goal. And once that goal was fulfilled, I'm like, I kind of grew out of being the center of attention each day, whether it was 1,000 views or 100,000. And not to say that I'm not self-centered anymore, but to say that I'm far less interested in posting videos on YouTube for them. And you'll notice I pay a lot more attention to Facebook because as much as some of them are people that I'll probably never see again, I care more about those people, friends and family. I choose to hit add friend or accept or confirm friend. I didn't choose who subscribed to me and who's going to write shit about me.
Yeah, I got a point there.
I want to focus on the positive side, people that are, I don't know, just have a positive energy about them. And if they don't, it's as simple as an unfollow or unfriend. It's just... That's it. I like to start intellectual conversations. I bring up topics that can get hundreds of comments, and that makes me happy. I've done personality tests, and I've realized that I'm the type of guy that likes interaction, whether it be in person, in the center of a room, in a crowd, or a Facebook chat. I get energized by people debating and talking about things because I learn. We learn from each other. Keep me on my toes, push me to move along, and I'll do the same for you.
You know what I found out?
What it does for me.
Dude, you know what I found out is I like a certain amount of I like a certain kind of attention. I like because there are different types of attention, and when I give a performance, that performance disappears. Okay, unless it's filmed, that performance, every performance a musician or an actor when they're doing a play, you create the art, then you only create memories. Okay, it's not hard copy. It's not a sculpture. It's not a painting. When you sing a song, it's just you carry that art with you. YouTube, when you create something like this, or whatever the medium is that is actually something that you can revisit, kind of like film, television, paintings, sculpture, stuff like that, you create something that sits in time, okay? Performances, they change. They change during the performance, and the next time you do it can be completely different. I like that. I like that type of performance. And I don't like the attention that you get because we look at this computer screen like it's a fucking burning bush. I have told this to so many people. I said, there are people out there who take it seriously just because it was on this YouTube channel. They're pushing this one girl who said top 10 reasons why I didn't vote Democratic or something like that, that one girl. Mm-hmm. She's got no videos. They're terrible videos. The video that they're pushing is incredibly pedestrian. It's just really, but they're going to force it down your throat until, you know, until Ellen puts her on for a guest spot. I think Moonshine should be on Ellen.
As a burning bush as a costume.
There you go.
I used to have red hair in college, and we were doing some kind of like vaguely religious play. So I had this gay guy, and he was Moses, and I was the burning bush, and I painted twigs on my body and put LED lights on my crotch.
That's awesome.
That's pretty well done. I actually, I had to pass. I think I passed on that gig. There was negotiations broke down, so I didn't. I was supposed to go to LA for a month to do a show.
Oh, you're not doing that anymore?
They couldn't afford it.
They couldn't. You couldn't afford me.
No, it's not a question like that. It's like there's a difference between a certain amount of money in the budget for a local hire and for people that you would have to bring in and house and feed. And it's like that's thousands of dollars. You got to fly somebody in, get them a car, get them a hotel, feed them. Dude, that's thousands. That's thousands of dollars.
Dude, you should have done like crowdsourcing.
No, you know what it is? I looked into it and then it was like, no, but they're still not going to be able to cover my car. They're still not going to be able to cover food. Dude, at $10 a day, you're going to drop $300 in a month. You're going to spend $20. That's $600.
If I can mention something without breaking the focus.
Go ahead.
Here in Portland, not only is there a good metro system, but right in front of my place, there's over 500 cars to choose from that are called Car2Go. And I have this blue little membership card. You just slide, or you just like wave it in front of the front window, dashboard, and it checks you in, unlocks the doors. You get in, and you drive for 41 cents a mile, or up to 15 bucks an hour, or something like that, or 25 an hour. And after 5 hours, which is like 80 bucks, you get the whole day, 24 hours. And I could just go up to Mount Hood for the day and hang out without having to worry about anything and come back. So gas is included, and you just park the car wherever the hell you want within that 200-mile range. Things like that are super convenient. I thought LA has a Car2Go system. If they don't, they need to get one.
I don't know, but all I know is that, first of all, where they would be rehearsing is probably North Hollywood. Where they would be doing the show, probably downtown. So
you'd be
right there. Tay, you're from LA. You know where I'm going with
this. You can't do it. You're always in the car. You'll spend $80 every day. The Car2Go, you'll use so many miles. It'll take you so long. Like it's good.
You'd be better off. No, but Lyft Line is actually really cheap and really awesome.
Yeah, that was the biggest problem. And then you're still talking about you need a place.
I go from Culver City to Studio City for $20.
But that's every day. That would have been every day, and then you're still going to get downtown. Oh, God, it would have been nuts. Then you're still talking food. It's an expensive place to eat. You still need a place to stay. That's $100 a day. You know, when you're talking about bringing in out-of-town talent, if they don't have it in the budget, it's like, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I'm renting a car from some place called Fox Rental. Like Southwest popped it up when I booked my flight for $35 a day, which seems awesome.
Well, here's the problem with me. I got rid of my car when I moved to Vegas, so I haven't bought a new one, which means I currently do not have car insurance, which means my car insurance, I now have to purchase car insurance when I rent a car. That takes that $13 car, which would have been just fine, and now it's like what, 25, 30 bucks. It's a lot more expensive. And when I came in to do the voiceover work, when I had to do the ADR in the film, I picked up a cheap car, drove around, saw, that's when Jackie came down to say hi, and it was perfect. You spent $25. It was nothing. Boom, bye. And then that was my car for the day or whatever. It was perfect. But it's like, yeah, now it's 30 days of that shit. And like we were talking about, you're staying one place, you're rehearsing in North Hollywood, you're performing in downtown. Trying to get downtown is a nightmare in LA. Oh, Scotty, I'm sure Oregon, Portland has great mass transit.
It does, but
LA,
the
not
roads
so much.
suck. The roads are almost as bad as Boston, though, because they're old horse and buggy roads from mid-1800s. But they've worked it out pretty well as far as pedestrians, and they have bike lanes, so I'm okay with it.
But yeah, it pissed me off because work begets work. It does.
Yeah.
Tay knows this. It's like if you get a gig, it's like there's another one coming, and it's like they offer.
Right, you meet someone halfway through that rehearsal process who's playing the music on this other show, and they can get you an audition. It just.
Honey, I didn't. They offered me the role. They didn't even audition me. It was a straight offer, and I was like, no, I can't do it. Oh, it pissed me off like you wouldn't believe. I was like, oh, fuck me. Then Rock of Ages came down on Broadway. I don't know how long it's going to last here. In Vegas, but that one's off the table too. They changed the age of a role. They changed the age of Stacey Jacks, who plays Stacey Jacks and Sherry's father. Used to be for a guy in his 40s. They said, no, now it's going to be an underwear model. And I was like, he's supposed to be a middle-aged rock singer. And they took that role completely off. I told Moonshine about it when we got here. I said, I almost had this gig. Stuff like that hurts. And whenever you're doing something, Scotty, it's things like that make you go, okay, are these decisions that I should have made differently? What's going on? That's when you start questioning your existence, when that shit happens.
It is, and it's almost like you need something big to happen. Like, looking at my life, I don't even think I ever told y'all, but, like, I had a big falling out with my family after college, and, like, I was basically homeless. Like, I was having to, like, live in the ghetto with this aunt who I didn't know. Like, I had all my money stripped from me. This is before I made Mass Tech. Like, we're all survivors. That's why we're motivated to do this stuff. So, but it's just like you're saying, Chucky, where it's like, if I hadn't had Mass Techs happen, and even now when I mean, things are good now, but, like, when they get hard, I look at that and I'm like, well, thank God that happened, because I can, like, anchor myself in that and be like, well, this is something that's very unusual. It's an extraordinary thing. I shouldn't give up, But, like, if you go a while without having something like that, it's a mind melt.
Here's the thing that happened to me, and it was when you go through a bunch of stuff, like you had just said, you have a certain level that you are used to. And especially if you deal with any type of depression, you dip into it and it's like, okay, that was bad, but you're going to come out of it. When you're in a soul-crushing depression, you have nothing to compare it to. It's like waking up, magically being transported to a post-apocalyptic landscape and looking around going, well, I've never been here before, and you really don't know how to quite deal with it. But when you have something bad that happens to you, like what you just talked about, now you're like Andrew Zimmern. You're like, you know what this needs? This needs monkey testicles, because I've already had those, and I know that you've got a much larger palette of woe, where you can actually put things in real quick perspective. You know what? I've got a roof. I got this. Going to be just fine. Sometimes you got to like have that. You got to figure out where your rock bottom is every once in a while. It sucks, but it has to happen.
Depression like that. I know personally that I have never experienced real depression because I hear people describe it and I don't resonate with it. And that's just like a whole nother ballpark. But it's just really weird. I guess where our minds can take us, and it's like, are we supposed, like you're saying, were you supposed to get there because that helped you get a bigger high later? Or
I had a friend of mine say something to me that I kind of agree with. I really do agree with this. She said, when it comes right down to it, she said, people say, why does bad things happen? Why do bad things happen to good people and stuff like that? And she had said, God uses suffering when nothing else will get your attention.
whoa!
And I was like, I don't know if that's true, but it makes sense. He goes, he only uses suffering when nothing else will get your attention. I was like, oh, okay, got it. And that's when you
loaded with a lot, but it's interesting. Wow.
Because at that point you look around, and usually when you're in a bad situation, sometimes it happened and you had nothing to do with it. You had nothing to do with it. But you learn the warning signs. I've seen things now that I'm like, oh, I know where this is heading, and I'm gone. I've been there.
Yeah.
If I can say something relatable, I think life is kind of like a panic attack. I haven't had many, but one that I had actually not long after my breakup 3 years ago this week. Your heart feels like it's pounding out of your chest. You feel like you're having a heart attack. You need to be taken to the hospital. You have no control of the situation, and it's scary. And that's what life feels like sometimes. But the next time I've had even a minor panic attack, I realized that it got better. It did. The situation may die down. Other things happen that are struggling as well. But I think that if you push through that, you're like, I made it through last time. Why can't I this time? So I think a lot of our problems are psychological, and how we kind of handle them determines who we are and what we really think about life. And some of us have slight chemical imbalances or are different from each other and handle stress differently. But I've never been severely depressed or ever suicidal. But I have compassion for those who are on edge or don't feel like there's any other way out, and I want to help those sort of people. Like Chucky, Angels with Broken Wings. It's a great concept because he's been there, and he was able to get away from that.
The thing about it that I think is funny is when you start looking at these things, what I'm noticing is a sense of helplessness with everybody because of the world around us. I was just talking to a friend of mine about this, and I said, I used to look around and think, God, the world has gone crazy. Now I look around and I'm like, I'm legitimately scared. I'm like, shit's weird. Weird stuff is going on. Domestically, internationally, culturally, socially, militarily, economic, weird, crazy shit is happening.
But then is that God? Like, if you said that God wakes you up, that idea, then maybe that's what he's doing with the world, and that's like a call to arms for like the people like us, like survivor types, the visionaries. Maybe.
Well, you know what? The thing is when it comes right down to that, okay. Here's the thing with, all right, I'll wrap up the whole YouTube thing. There are a handful of people, when people think YouTube, that spring to mind. Mm-hmm. That's a fair assessment, okay? There are, comparatively speaking, a handful of popular YouTubers. Scotty, best guesstimate, how many YouTube channels are there?
There are several million.
Million?
Yes, there are millions.
There are millions of people on YouTube. There are only 10 in the top 10. That's basically the only way I can explain. So when you talk about that, you're talking about there are so many voices in that void. A handful are being heard.
Chucky, it's just, if I can put a political spin on it.
That's inaccurate, though, because any given person you ask is going to say 5 different people. They're not going to.
No, they won't. They'll say their favorite, and they'll say their favorites, but they're also going to know who the top ones are. They're going to know them. They will be well aware of them.
Right. But that's the beautiful thing about YouTube is that, like, every subscriber doesn't have a finite amount of channels that they can subscribe to.
Okay.
Yeah, but they have a finite amount of time with which they can enjoy those subscriptions. And Scotty.
If I can add a political spin to this, that might blow your mind. Think about YouTube in the top 100 as the 1% in society. Those with the money have the biggest influence. The biggest YouTubers have the biggest influence. Sort of like Jesus, moonshine.
Sorry.
sort of like you know, each town has or each city, you know, you've got mayors and you've got people that represent in the House and the Senate, but the thing is, those are just representatives of a larger scale. A vlogger is a representative of somebody like that style. It's like a community within a community, and there are bigger people that kind of supersede that or just overpower them because they've got more views, which can equate to money in political terms. And I think that that's just the way it is. When YouTube was not that, that's when it was most attractive to me. That's when it was the most fun. When I could watch somebody vlog, video blog, like say Frank or Renetto, and it's like, holy shit, this person has these profound ideas, and nobody's getting this because it's such new, it's raw, it's new information. And now it's just cookie cutter bullshit. How can I make money?
Like,
I got a production team behind me, hidden agendas, and all that shit. Yeah,
it's very pedestrian.
But now I mean, I'm jaded, but I don't like where it's gone, but at the same time, I love where it's gone. It's a double-edged sword that I'll never be satisfied with, and I don't know that I could ever get back into with all the passion I used to have for it.
You know what it is?
So
It's kind of the same thing that happened to YouTube, happened to television, happened to films, happened to literature, happened to music. You know, it just went. It can get real low as common denominator real quick. When you're talking about en masse, eventually that's what happens. You're going to have now. There's always going to be highbrow entertainment. There's always going to be people out there who are going not for shock value, not for style, but substance and things like that, of course. But the vast majority are they ain't selling steak. They're selling sizzle. That's all.
Well, there you go. There you go. And there's a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurs out there because they see these people that have built something from the ground up, and look where Apple's become, and look at these companies and Bill Gates, and it inspires these people to want to come at least on even a smaller scale, successful like that. Same goes for YouTubers. They find out whether it's money or not. Success can be a ton of measures, but and can be subjective. But I think when it comes to YouTube, what attracts people, it's always, oh, how many subscribers before I can start making money? No, it's not about that, and it never should have been.
Right, because it's so personality based, and that's loaded too, because a lot of what we do is, but like when you were talking about like a political campaign or like the Z Frank thing before, like they were making works of art, and like I'm biased, but like my music videos, like I've tried to vlog like twice and it's awful. So what? Because I don't like that. Like it's like I'm making something that's entertaining.
It's not you. It's not you, and I appreciate that you didn't. You gave it a solid effort. It didn't work, and you kept going.
But like,
you know,
it's just weird to have like these people just put up 10 minutes of them, you know, just like
10 minutes.
Their life. Well, a day, you know.
But Tay, I mean, Shay Carl, great guy. You know, he's got solid, you know, moral compass. You know, yeah. Some people might not agree with the Mormon lifestyle, and that's his, but he's got a hierarchy, or he's got like a family that he provides for, and they're completely content with that. They live good lives, they're good people, and he makes an honest living sharing his life with other people. And a lot of it is joyful and happy, and I am okay with that. People trying to be a ripoff of Shay Carl rather than having their own voice is what I'm not okay with. It's sort of like, you know, you've got Voodoo Donuts here, and then you've got somebody who wants to make donuts for the simple fact that they want to start a business and they know that it works. Oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel because Matthew Santoro has 3 million. I want 3,000, and maybe 3,000 is happy for that. They're doing it for the wrong reason.
There was actually, Scotty, a video. I think we talked about this a long time ago. There was a channel called Drunk Baking, way before My Drunk Kitchen, but it just didn't click. Didn't have the right personality, didn't have the right thing, because Hannah Hart's incredibly funny. She's very engaging and everything, so it's like I can see that, but it's like sometimes it just, you know, if you have an idea, 50 other people have the exact same idea. We're all of the same mind sometimes. It's just like who's going to use it first and who's going to do it best.
Well, do you think Matthew Santoro came up with top 10s? No. In 2000 in the beginning of 2010, when I discovered him, when he had 700 subscribers, and I gave him his first big shout-out, that gave him hope, and he stuck with it. Now, I'm not taking credit for success, but what I'm saying is little things where you kind of pay it forward, or you acknowledge something, you're like, oh, that helps. A lot of people nowadays, because they felt like they worked for it, even though they got help from other people, they don't do the same thing for others. And I think that
So selfish.
That's LA for you. You get out there, you start waiting tables and whatnot. You work your way through it. You bust ass in rehearsals, and you learn your script. You got people that help you along the way, maybe a DP that helped you with this or that, and then you blow up and you don't look back and help people. And that's LA, and that's why I don't think I'll ever work there.
YouTube,
That's not even.
It happens with YouTube.
I was really scared to collaborate with people because when we have success, which we've all had in different ways that we've done ourselves, you get nervous because you know how to do that. So it's not like you don't want to bring other people in, but it's like you just have something that worked, and in something that's so uncertain, it's really hard. But I don't know about y'all, but even this was my first step in even meeting other YouTubers, but now in Austin, everyone here is so collaborative. I am constantly working with different artists. I'm bringing in this 45-year-old reggae guy. I'm just random people who you would never normally work with, and it's so cool. I've never felt so creative and inspired. And that's what I think we need to bring back to YouTube, is that excited, creative nature. That's not just me.
What I think happened is we came into
Google happened
a little bit. Yeah, well, we were talking about that. I mean, they broke something that wasn't. They tried to fix something that wasn't broke. But what I also noticed is there was early on a sense of community because they weren't YouTube stars. Now they've made them stars, and now once they get, it was like you guys were talking about Tessa, Violet, and the other girl who I was like, they do really, really good videos. And he went, yeah, when we were at Playlist Live or wherever it was, VidCon, they were upstairs. Yeah, and you said they wouldn't even come down. They didn't talk to anybody.
VidCon 2011, I was so turned off by them, and they're creative, and they're probably really nice people, but the impression I got was not favorable. It's such a turnoff when you see things like that. And because I've been on YouTube in April 9 years, I've been to a lot of these events, and more content creators know me than viewers in the world. I just find a weird balance, and I'm okay with that because I'd rather surround myself with creative people than followers. I think I prefer to be a leader than a follower. I prefer to think smarter than harder. I'm just a different take on it. No offense to people that are just viewers and they have no interest in creating. But I gravitate towards people that are creative because it pushes me and it inspires me. And I think to go back to the whole YouTube thing, when you have a big audience, it comes with responsibility. And I think I started a channel that I have yet to do anything with, but I really would love to one day. Who knows if it's 5 years down the road, called Play It Forward. Like Pay It Forward, but you're playing videos, you're sharing other YouTubers, kind of like what I used to do with YouTube Spotlight and But What Do I Know with Stir Fry TV. I would love to do that again because my heart's in the right place for it. I just don't have the following myself for it. I'm a part of a larger entity and whatever, but I don't feel like I'm ready for it yet. But when I am, I would love to be able to do that. I wish more big guys would do that rather than being
there's a problem that people don't understand. There's only, and this is a big problem in radio, there's only so many minutes out of every hour that you can play songs. There's only so many minutes out of every hour that you can watch videos. And if you are subscribed to 100 people, 97 of them you're not watching those videos because you just don't have the time.
Chucky, I'm subscribed to over 1,200 channels. I don't even check my sub box anymore. If it pops up on Facebook or Twitter or wherever, how's so-and-so doing? I'll go and check out their channel and catch up on 5 of their last 20 videos that I missed. But I'm good friends with Charles Trippy. I don't check his channel that often. He's also been through a lot of different things recently. I went and checked out his channel the other day, the day he said, let's talk for the 7th time, to find out he's had more seizures. And I'm like, fuck. And my heart goes out to him, but I can't keep up with his vlogs every day.
Okay, so here's how you fix that. And this is what I'm doing, or at least my take. So what we have voices that have had some success that people relate to. Awesome. That means we're tastemakers. We can't always put out every moment of content, and none of us have felt the pull to just do the kind of vlogging thing. We're all creative. We all like to work on projects, do something that's a little greater than ourselves. So to me, it's if I'm a tastemaker and I have a sense Like, my fans like what I like. Your fans like the videos you like. You get them in debates. So we know that that's true. You're right, people can only watch so much video. So all you can do is be the source for what you think they're going to like. So whether that's taking content that they do and like that is aligned with your values, yes, and what you're doing, and retweeting or featuring that on your site, or other people in your field who you know your fans will like you just become the little hub of entertainment for what you're good at. So like, I'm making a song called Cheer Champions, and I'm having fans, because a lot of my fans are musicians, send in vocals. And why should I pay for backup singers when I have fans who are trying
that I can use?
Who would love to do that.
No, that's smart. You're smart when it comes to that, absolutely. And I think that things like that should happen more often. And I love the idea of video submissions. Before they got rid of video responses, I love the idea that somebody on the other side of the world could do a video response. When I was doing Scott a Minute, I got hundreds of intros, and I got people that were parroting me, and I'm like, it's flattering, because you touch somebody enough for them to go out of their way to make a clip, whether it's one clip or edit something and mock you, whether it's in a good way or a bad way. Just like you, Tay, you take it from the right angle, you've got the right attitude, because you've got thick skin and you don't care if people say something negative. Here's the thing. Have you ever gone somewhere, to a bar, to a classroom, in a hallway, the mall, you see somebody, they did absolutely nothing wrong to you, but you can't fucking stand them. There's something you just don't like about them, you get bad vibes. I think that happens in general. Other content creators, they might not hate what you do, but they just don't like you. They don't want to work with you. They don't want to see your stuff. And then you've got people that are trolls, where misery needs company. They hate that you're successful, or that you have a voice, or that you're something that they're not, because they're not. That's basically it. And
Moonshine, you had mentioned that you were doing something different, or you're going to get back to videos. What are you going to do?
Yeah, Moonshine.
I've got some cosplay videos planned, but it's really funny that you should steer the conversation my way now. I actually need to run out for a second and do some stuff. How much longer are you guys going to be on? Like another...
Unbelievable. You said 10 words. We bring it to you.
I tried to throw it to you twice.
I say 10 words, you inconsiderate bastards.
Look, we've been doing this for 2.5 years. What happened to the Moonshine that used to cut everybody off?
Never.
Now you don't even say anything.
It's because I'm tired of fighting you fuckers.
Raise your hand.
Hang on. I'm going to go out for a while. Be here when I get back, all right? And you'll hear about what I'm doing. Oh, cliffhanger.
Oh, will we be so grateful and lucky?
Wait a second. How long is a what? Never mind. I'm not going to be here. Tay.
Okay.
I know.
Before we go to Tay, because everything's been about us three, I would like to make it about the people watching, not that there's a ton, because this was the last minute thing. I didn't promote it ahead of time, blah, 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 blah. Nobody in here probably shared it, suck a dick. And
I did halfway through and 5 minutes ago.
Well, thank you, Tay. Okay, so Jared Day.
So good. This is our relationship. We're so close.
I love you like diarrhea. I just can't hold it in. You know, it's like. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, after an evening with me, you would not be able to hold it in. That's true.
Oh Jesus. Okay. So Jared Day says, "Hey guys, what's up? Hi Jared. Wow, the one New York G. Why is there a pop-up video that says be part of this conversation for the Hangouts on air?" What that means is you can ask questions during the show, which I can go to the Q&A thing. That's what it means. So after the show, you'll see that still, but it really isn't anything unless you're watching it live. Afterwards, we will still reply to your comments if you leave them. I do have a question. Right now, I want to stop before I give more shout-outs. How many of you would be interested in the MP3 audio version of this if I put it up on either iTunes?
I wouldn't, because our audio sucks. We'd have to straighten out our audio problems, because when you listen to our playback, it's a mess.
I have a blue snowball I could start using.
I have one as well, and it's still boxed up, but I would. Chucky, yours isn't that bad.
I fucked around with the settings, and that's when it went crazy. Earlier, it sounded fine.
Well, Chucky, you've got a good voice for podcasting, so if people are in the car and they can't stream video, then we need to do that. Tay, yours is like, your microphone is super sharp and high-pitched, And it's not necessarily your voice. I think that it's just it's overpowering to ours. So if we could figure out leveling off air, and we could do this, and other people would, if it would bring more people to watching the show, I'm not opposed to it. It takes me 3 minutes to convert a video to MP3 once it's done.
No, we'll do off air next time, and I'll put in my snowball where you can adjust it more. You know, this is just like a webcam on a PC.
I'll give you a snowball. Okay.
Yeah.
Finally.
So, Dean Bricklin says, the Big Bang, shit, I lost it. Hold on, where do these comments go? Okay, the Big Bang Theory is fun, like the first time you watch it. After that, it becomes mind-numbingly boring. Kieran, Frenchman, status is everything in this world. There was this extremely famous violinist that did a social experiment and played his music in the subway, and barely anybody stopped to listen. It's all about image today. That is true. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Thank you for bringing it up, Kieran.
King Taz YC1, it's great to see you, everyone. It's great to hear from you, too. Amazing Tech says, hey, Scott, I think you should look into becoming an influencer on LinkedIn. I don't know if this is a joke or not. Start posting some creative writing pieces and digital media topics or something. Cheers. I like that you see that I kind of like cultivate conversation and information, but I don't know that LinkedIn means anything to me when I'm employed and I'm busy. I do have a blog. If you go to Tumblr, you can look up scottkmartin.com, and I do post thorough blogs like that. And sometimes the ones that are more thought-provoking on my Facebook, sometimes they're personal, sometimes they're not. I sometimes will link those in my blog, or I'll add photos, and it'll be more in-depth than the Facebook post. So thank you for that suggestion. I will possibly look into it if you can convince me of reasons why LinkedIn is beneficial. Okay, and next we've got Kieran, who says, well, it was nice seeing you guys live, probably because we're getting to this an hour too late. Sorry, guys. I've been in downtown LA a few years ago and love it. I might move there since this year, since my career. Oh, sorry, I'm like making up words. Dean says people seem to think that those questions for Obama were pre-screened. They were pre-selected. Do you think they were?
I don't know what
yes.
that means. So I'm kind of thinking that's the same way, but yeah.
Yeah. I remember a few times when I hit rock bottom. Yeah, it sucked, but sometimes it gets dark in my subconscious. I feel like I was running away from it until I see daylight. Now, I sometimes get tunnel vision too, because you only see what you want to see. You put blinders on. But the only way to deal with it is to face it. And sometimes reality is a bitch, just like the real world. Michael Castaldi II. I don't know if I've ever said that correctly, but he's one of my most loyal followers. What's up, buddy? Nice to see that there's a live stream going on. There is, and I could go to the bathroom and create another stream.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael, you're getting a shout out. He's from Philly. He's a very he's a follower of Piper's Prank and a lot of YouTubers. I believe he's just a viewer, but he's a nice guy. He's always giving good compliments, you know. Oh, here's the compliment, speaking of which. Tay, your eyebrows are messed up. What a compliment.
Thanks.
I think Tay has eyebrows and they're not painted on, so that is a compliment, and they're symmetrical. So
it doesn't come off YouTube. They're just I didn't squeeze them good enough, I guess. I'm just a normal girl.
Oh man, you gotta love these.
I'm not the Kardashians. Or it's like.
Wait. Can I be the judge of that? Can you just stand up and turn around real quick? I want to see if you're anything like Kim.
I cannot stand up at the moment.
Are you wearing no pants, Tay? No pants, Tay, today. Oh man, I just blew your cover, literally.
You did. Wait, this is so fun. It's never just us. Let's just talk. We should do our own podcast where people just get to watch us fall in love, since The Bachelor has gone to the shitter.
It has.
It's so bad nowadays.
We could flush it and start our own turd.
I don't want to start a turd with you.
Why is everything like, I don't know. I don't know why everything has to do with like flatulence and bodily fluids and whatnot
You're the one who just said turd. You're the one being a dude right now.
A dude? I'm being a douche, which is another bodily.
You're just thinking about bodily fluids. We're finally
okay.
talking one-on-one.
We are.
This is the first time this has happened.
I think it is the first time. Okay, so what's your fantasy, Tay?
Is this you courting me? I'm going to talk about turds, and then I'm going to ask you what your fantasy is.
Well, since you like Disney so much, how do you feel about turds?
Oh my god, this is why you're single. This is the worst date I've ever been on. And I wrote a song called Cause for Pause. No guy has ever started with turds and then gone straight to fantasy without a pause.
You know, I realize there are a lot of different fetishes out there, but I will never ask if I can shit on you, okay? Oh.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, let's see. Chucky's walking in on this. What's up?
Oh, nothing. It happened. It happened.
Chucky, you missed a really rare personal moment that we shared.
Let's ask the viewers if they would like to see more of our conversations, because I'm just interested in whether that is excruciating to people or really entertaining.
Can you imagine where it would go? But I would, if I stopped the sexual innuendos, what would our topics be about?
Well, then maybe you'd actually get to know me, motherfucker.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow. That was
damn. Okay.
Guess that's why Santoro never
see-
called you back. That was what it was right there.
Why did I get
Anybody
your text?
Tay,
Got a
Tay,
little crazy.
how do you feel about dimples, Tay?
I'm very partial to them, but I'm biased.
Me too. I know. Look, I've got this one. It's one
Oh,
retarded.
baby, let's put them against each other.
I call it retarded because I have no control over it, and there's not a second one, so they're not symmetrical. I'm sorry if I use that word and it offended anyone.
Oh, you look so cute. Hi, baby. How are you?
You see how I can do that? Like, look, I can make either eyebrow dance, but I can only do like the thing like one side. That's why when I smile, I can smile even or I go.
That's kind of weird. At least your eyebrows aren't painted on, though. What's the name of that person who said that my eyebrows looked weird? I really want to call them out.
It was something Rick. It was. Yeah, it was RICKK or something. They're in the comments somewhere.
Out of everything we've discussed and everything that's going on, you're going to talk about my eyebrows with a half-round smiley face? Really?
No, let's talk about how we can't see your cleavage or your lack of pants.
Well, okay, I'll just give like a quick there you go. You got like a splash of nip. You're not wearing a bra.
guys, you're welcome. I am smooth like sandpaper. There's the thumbnail. Hold on. Keep that. I'm going to make your middle fingers the thumbnail. Hold it for 1 second. And done. Got it. Okay.
Oh my god.
Well.
You also got a nip with that. That's not fair. That was a trick.
Now I have a thumbnail I can stare at for the rest of my life.
All I know is we're not going to be here when Moonshine gets back. I hope she knows.
No, we're not. And I think she realized that she was just trying to let us down easy. So
She's a sweet kid.
She is. So, yeah, I'm loving Portland. You're loving Austin. Austin's another place that's booming. And, of course, Las Vegas is always a good time. I was looking up flights and stuff. I got an email today randomly about a deal to Las Vegas. I would love to come visit, man. We do. We're going to say this for the next 2 years before it actually happens, but I would love that idea. So I'm in the Pacific Northwest, which just so happens to be a 5.5-hour direct flight to Honolulu, Hawaii.
Can we all go to Hawaii?
For less than $400.
Yeah, that's
round
not bad.
trip.
That's not bad at
all. It blows
all.
my mind. So I might do that. My birthday's in 4 months.
Rooms at the Marriott. I have like a ridiculous deal with them. I get like $20 rooms.
Okay, then you're joining.
Okay. Oh, you say I'm joining?
Hey, yeah. Hey, look.
I wasn't joining before my room discount?
That's it. You've earned your keep. You know what? Tay,
Why am I
Tay,
always inviting myself to things with you guys?
Hey,
You should want me there.
Hey, listen to me. I just thought of our genius vlogging channel idea. Scate.
Oh, funny.
Oh my god, wait. Yes, we're doing it. We both,
Scate!
yes, this is amazing. We both have to film ourselves, like, taking shots before we get on to, like, prove that we're coming into it drunk. And then it's 45 minutes, and we cut it off right at 45 minutes. Whatever happens, happens. I think we need to do this. I am liking
Oh my god.
Yeah, we used to do that.
Scate. Oh
and I'll
my
make a little
god.
song like, Scate.
Sounds like drinking and smoking to me.
Oh, there will be drinking, but only one smoking hot person.
I know.
I don't know. It won't be me.
Gave you the deuce again. All right, guys. So this
Yeah.
is fun. I like when we don't
Did-
have douchebag. What was it? Matthew saying douchebag. What was his name?
Where is he? Has anyone heard from him? Or is this-
He's probably in Toronto spooning.
I heard
It's-
that what's his name? Rob was worried about the storm that's rolling through.
Oh, the East Coast is getting bombarded with snow right now.
But I don't know if I didn't hear anything from
Everyone stay safe
Matt.
out there, East Coast. Stay safe.
Well, Matt's Canadian. They always get snow, so it's just nothing new for him or any Buffalonian nearby. So yeah, it's just like, oh, another day. How cute! They're getting snow. But
Oh my
we
God,
really
wait,
don't know how
I
bad it's
should
gonna be.
post a picture of Santoro with his new girlfriend and bring
No.
back douchey Santoro hashtag.
No.
Oh, the thing is,
You have to understand, he makes so much money that doesn't even bother him.
well, you see, I think it's still
I don't think it- I
if
think-
Matt's anything like the
I
guy
think
that
it-
I've always known.
Yeah, but I think he's at the point in his life where I'm at the point in my life where somebody says something to me. It doesn't even have to do with money. I'm at the point where somebody says something to me that I literally just look at him and I'm like, dude, after what I've been through, that's all you got? Okay. And I just kind of like wander on.
Fine, just
So-
to be
That's a good point. If we can bring this show to a conclusion by saying that you decide what bothers you. If anything, the thing that bothers me most is myself. When I get mad at myself for doing something wrong or not doing something as quickly as I wanted to, I become a better person. It lights a fire under my ass. So I think you can change it and bring it back to you. If somebody says something that is hurtful, but you know it's not true, or you don't value their opinion because you don't know them, then brush it off. Like Taylor Swift says, brush your shoulders off, right? Or shake it off, or whatever.
Yeah, just like Taylor Swift says, brush your shoulders off, brush your shoulders off.
Yeah, she doesn't say that, by the way. She's never said brush your shoulders off. She says
No.
shake it off or some shit.
It's
She's
okay.
adorable. She showed her midriff finally. We got to see on her Instagram her belly button, and she is gorgeous.
Mm.
Oh, and go follow Lady Gaga on Instagram. That chick has a booty on her. Anyway, so this has
when we
been episode
got
132.
I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure she's that Illuminati tool that they say she is. She's another one. There's a couple of people out there that they say things and I'm like, dude, did you just hear what they just said or something? Where I'm getting to the point where I'm like, if Jesus is coming back, I hope he makes it quick. It's getting weird out there.
She used to be semi-normal.
Not no more.
I like her obscure side. She stands out. Sometimes you got to do that. Where she even got her name. She was talking to her agent before she was anybody, okay? I mean, she was classically trained. She's well-known. She was in New York City doing her shit on the piano. But she was talking to her agent, and he accidentally called her Gaga and said, texted her, or he went to say ha-ha, but he wrote Gaga. And she laughed about it and said, from now on, call me Lady Gaga.
Well, she had said it was supposed to be from Queen's Radio Gaga, so who knows what anything the truth is.
I believe mine is the truth because it's on the internet, so fuck you. And
so was the other
So-
one.
Are you a butt man?
I am.
I am, very much. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
both of you. Okay, well, on
Well, here's the
Valentine's
thing.
Day, I
Somebody
have a
said
little
something.
surprise
Hang on,
for you.
hang on 1 second, sweetie. Somebody had said there's this whole culture of butt worship, and I was like, dude, I've been like that all my life. I've been waiting for all y'all to get on board
All I
with
have to
this.
say is that I am putting out a little something called 50 Shades of Tay. and you will get to see how it compares to the Kardashian bootay.
I will check out your assets. There's no doubt.
I think you should just I'm pretty sure that I have your phone number. Just text this over now. I don't got that.
I actually have the most discriminating, ridiculous video that I kind of want to share, but I kind of don't. It's so porny, and it's not what made the final cut. But yeah, we'll think about it.
Oh, well, yeah, we can talk about that during the after show that we do. Okay, well, guys, I would love to thank Moonshine for all 10 words she said tonight. I would like to thank Tay for always adding her opinion. You've brought a lot to this show since Jacqueline's abandoned us. And Chucky, it's always a pleasure having you on this show. I'm so glad that it's been 2.5 years and we're still running. Maybe it's not full speed all the time, but we are running with it, and I'm gonna bring on some guests. I'm gonna make MP3s whether people want it or not. I'll put it somewhere in your butt, and then that's it. That's our show for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to say thank you, Chucky. Episode 132. We will see you next Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Love you guys.